5, 4.
Hi, my name is Lady Kathi, and um, today we're going to do an interview. And this interview is going to involve someone who's very close to me, and we're going to talk about some things that has happened in her life. We're going to find out what took place. We're going to find out how she got through that, and we're also going to find out what she learned from it. My name, of course I've told you already, is Lady Kathi, and I'll tell you just a tiny bit about me. Come from a family, a large family of 9 of us, and I'm a January baby, born January 16th. Also, I am a singer, songwriter, secretary. I have 2 gospel albums out, and I released an R&B single a couple of years ago, and yesterday I just released another R&B single entitled Tailor Made, and it goes by my middle name, which is Rashay. I have a secretarial business. It's called Lady Kathy's Creations, and I type for those who cannot, but I specialize in resumes. I think that's good enough for me. We can get into the interview right now, and we're going to start with the young lady who is sitting across from me. I'm going to have her to tell you her name and what city she grew up in. All right, we're here talking to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Sonya, and do I need to get my last name? No, I'm Sonya. Stage name is Sonya.
Tell us about yourself. Where you from?
I'm from San Francisco, California, born and raised. Traveled abroad though. I'm a mother, grandmother, cousin, best friend, all the good stuff. Gospel singer. I've done some other stuff too, R&B, a lot of studio work.
Okay. What's your professional trade?
I am a community organizer, and what I do is I plan events for veterans.
Okay.
And yeah,
That's awesome. You like it?
yeah, I'm helping. As long as I'm helping somebody, it always makes my day.
That's a wonderful thing.
Yes, that's me. That's my
So
life.
tell me today, why is it that you wanted to do this interview today?
Mainly because I tell it wherever I am, who needs to hear it. And so everybody keeps saying, oh, we gotta do a video so more people can hear it. And then it took me a long time to get to this.
Okay.
To this day, one is because I'm a little nervous, of course, and then 2, it's kind of dark.
Okay. Yeah.
It's kind of dark. So for me to revisit a dark space is challenging.
Okay. So we're going to try to make you as comfortable as you possibly can be today. So we're going to go actually through 3 different phases of Sonya Wright's life today. We're going to go through, I'll name all 3 of them, and then we're going to talk about each one specifically. So the first title is the first incident that she wanted to talk about will be the breaking up her neck. The second session of what we're going to talk about is a vehicular manslaughter. And the third item that we'll be speaking with is the loss of her son. So let's dive right into it. All right, Ms. Sonya Wright, let's talk about this tragedy that happened is when you broke your neck. And I want you to tell us a little bit about it. And then, in the process of what happened, and then your healing, and then tell me what you learned from it after you healed. So tell us what happened.
First off, I get a phone call from some friends, and they were at the bar, and they needed a ride, so I was just gonna run and get them and come right back. And so I picked them up, and I remind you, I hadn't had anything to drink or anything, But now before I tell you
It's
what
possible.
happened, right, before I tell you what happened, I gotta tell you what it least, how it got there. So, I'm back at church, deep, and we singing and stuff, but it was something I felt like I was missing, which was the anointing. I mean, when you listen to people who are anointed when they sing, it's just awesome. And I wanted that. So when you ask for something that big, that powerful, you have to go through something.
Mhm.
God needs to know that you're serious about it.
Mhm.
So I used to have these dreams where I would see a car accident, but I couldn't see the outcome. I see it happening, but not the outcome. So this particular night, I picked my friends up, and then we're coming around. We're on 100th and MacArthur, and we're coming around this curve, and the car didn't straighten out. So it was crazy. So it had just started raining too, by the way. So it was kind of sleepy, and I had a 1987 Firebird.
Okay.
And they have a real bad fishtail, meaning they can always spin out of control. So the car just kept, it never straightened out, and as soon as it got ready to hit these parked cars, that's when I went up like this, and right when they hit, and I tensed, and you could feel it, and all I could say was my neck. And it was,
Now, were you alone, or?
no, I would just pick
You
my
picked your friends up,
yeah,
okay.
from the bar.
Okay, because they asked you to pick you up. They asked you to pick them up from the bar.
Yeah,
Because they had to drink it and you weren't.
right.
Okay,
I was the driver.
Okay.
I wasn't there.
okay.
So, yeah, the pain on that was something else.
Now, do you think this accident could be avoided?
No. Anything that has to do with something spiritual, it's gonna happen. You cannot change. No, it was gonna happen. I couldn't have stopped it. I couldn't have did something else different. No.
Now, once that happened, how long were you in the hospital?
Well, I was only in the hospital for 3 days, and then I have to go to the rehabilitation place
How long
to
was that?
prove to them, that I could maneuver, because I had to get a halo, and they said I was going to be in the halo from 4 to 6 months. But I
Now,
told
a lot
them
of people don't know what the halo means. Explain to people what a halo literally is.
Frankenstein. So basically, what it is, it's like a halo. It's a thing that go around your head. I have 2 screws here, 2 screws in the back, and oh yeah, and then a chest cover that went to the waist. And so, yeah, you know how your mind just starts running. So the halo thing, they said I was supposed to be in it from 4 to 6 months, but I was only in the hospital for 3 days, 5 days in rehabilitation, and then I got to go home. So then, 2 months passed. I'm out the halo, but I told them, I said, because there were so many doctors in that room that night that it happened, they couldn't believe. I mean, it was like 5 doctors, and they just could not believe that I was not paralyzed or dead. And so me going through my thing, because I wanted to go to sleep. I sleep through all my issues, my pain, whatever it is. I just want to go to sleep. But I told them they were looking in the wrong book, because it wasn't in there. It's not in the medical book. It was unexplainable. You can't figure it out.
Right.
If you know God, then you know why and how and what went down and all that stuff. But
For sure.
yeah, so yeah, that.
Now, who were the influencers who were around you once you went into this situation and once you got out of it? Who were your influencers? Who were there for you? Who were the people who cheered you on and said that you could make it and this is not the end?
Because I got a message with Shay. You were there from the beginning to the end. You were there. I mean, you had to go pick my son up. I left my son at home, but I was coming right back. we had to go pick him up, and yes, you were there from the beginning to the end. But you were the only one that was able to handle it. I had some friends that just could not, they couldn't come to my house, they couldn't call me on the phone. Actually, that was my cousin Monique, and Monique just, she's a big baby. She's a baby. She's tough, but she's a baby. She couldn't do it. She couldn't do it. There was no way she was gonna be able to see me with screws, you know.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough.
I can't imagine what you all were going through. I mean, I couldn't even fathom what you all were going through because I mean, I had to go through it. It was something that I wanted
Sure.
from God, and I had to go through it. And if I had to do it again, I would. I would. Only because when after all that, and I started singing again,
Yeah.
it was powerful.
Yeah.
So yes, if I had to do it again, yes, I would.
Well, that was strong. You have to really be strong to be able to deal with something like that. I can just imagine walking around just not being able to really do for yourself, really, and just making sure that you are very, very careful that nothing snaps. And you had to make sure that whatever you were doing, it had to have been a careful move. Because anything could have gone wrong.
Yes, because actually it was the same bone that Christopher Reeve, the one that played Superman.
Right,
It was
and who's in a wheelchair.
Right, it was the exact same bone that broke in my neck. I have the same thing, but and then there were other people. For some reason, it seemed like when something's going on, it continues. There were football players that had halos and things. They broke their neck, and but they were still in halos, and for a long time.
For a long time.
So that's why when I look at my situation, it was spiritual. It was, I couldn't tell you no other way. I couldn't tell you another story. It was all spiritual.
Tell you, if you didn't believe in God then.
Then it would have turned out, it would have been different.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, it'd be a different story.
Yeah.
You'd be telling a different story about you.
Yeah. I probably still have a halo.
Wow. All right, we're going to move into our second phase of Sonya Wright's tragedy that happened to her. And this is going to be talking about the vehicular manslaughter. All right, I feel like this is something that's major. I wasn't around at that time, so this is something that I'm hearing about for the first time. So, with this one, let's find out how it happened, where you were, and what happened afterwards, and did this individual have family that you had to talk to, and did you feel like you needed to apologize? So let's start from the beginning. What actually happened in this vehicular manslaughter situation?
Now, this situation, I can't explain to you, like on a spiritual level, what went down, because that was crazy for me. Only because somebody lost their life. And I'm looking at it and I see it, and it's like, it'll never go away, but I cannot explain how or what I was supposed to get out of that. I still don't know for sure. I do know that I made it through it, because I didn't think I was going to be able to make it through it, because it was that's traumatizing to actually watch somebody die. And so, because at this particular time I didn't ask God for anything special, so
Right.
it wasn't like it was something that I had to go through whatever this was. I had to go through it. I don't think it was for me. I think it was for other people, because I took it to trial. You know, a lot of people were telling me, oh no, you better go on and just take whatever they offer
The plea.
you. Yeah, and I was like, I'm not feeling that. And God already said he was gonna get me through it, so I'm gonna go on and take it to trial. So we went to do the trial. The trial was only 5 days, and the jury found me not guilty. Now, as far as the family, I understand. They had lost someone, so they were very angry.
Male, female, boy, girl, man.
It was a male. It was a male, and they was actually at that time I was working for an electric company, and it was my boss's best friend. So I had the emotion just going crazy. First, I got to deal with the fact that I'm in jail. Secondly, I got to deal with the fact that they put me in with the. Now, I don't want to call them crazy people. There is another name for it. Forgive me. But here I am with them.
How long?
24 hours I was in there. No, was it 24 hours? Yeah. I didn't get out, and I didn't go to sleep because I'm in a area that I'm not familiar with, and I'm not comfortable, and so I gotta keep my eyes open. So I didn't go to sleep until I got out of there, and then I was only in when they picked me up for that, which was 4 months. I was only in jail for 5 days in the beginning because they have to do the investigation.
Right.
So they came back to my house in April of the following year, because this happened in 2014. So 2015, April, they came and got me from my house. And I had my grandson. I had just got him out. I was going to keep him for a week. So they came to the house, knocked in the door, said that they were done with their investigation and they were taking me in. But
How'd you feel?
I don't know. I didn't really have no emotion on that particular day because I knew what I had did, and I already knew that they were coming to get me anyway. I just didn't know exactly when. But I didn't really have no emotion. I couldn't.
So the person who had this tragedy, they actually lost their life,
Yes, they did.
and you saw it right in front of your eyes.
Yes, I did.
And are you traumatized at this point, or you
Yes,
just really
very
didn't?
much so. And I want to tell y'all about this, but I really don't, because I don't want anybody to have that type of vivid memory in their brain. I mean, it's traumatizing. So I don't think it would be good for me to explain it. I mean, think you can handle it, I'll tell you, but
I'm good with it.
okay, so
I mean, but if you don't feel your audience is able to handle it, that would be really totally up to you.
yeah,
So you can think about it for, a couple of seconds to see if this is something you want to tell. Because you would have to probably go, it's as if you were telling this to people who, if it happened to them, then what would be the outcome after they've gone through it? Because a lot of people have gone to court, and a lot of people did not get off easy.
yeah,
And a lot of people are sitting in jail right now for doing what you did.
yes. One, I had an excellent lawyer. Two, I was playing. It's just hanging my butt off.
And 3, it wasn't your fault. You weren't trying
Right. I wasn't trying
to
to.
kill anybody.
But see, all that goes out the window. All that goes out the window when someone loses their life. Whether it was your fault or not, you still feel.
Something happened,
Yeah.
and something tragically happened.
Yes. Even though it wasn't my fault, but still, that goes out the window. just know that I didn't mean to do it, and I didn't want to sit in jail on something that I did not mean to do purposely. So, yeah.
When they picked you up, how long were you in jail after that?
Oh, 2 months. Right. So, because they
Oh, you see what I
excuse me,
mean?
because my lawyer got me to finish everything outside the jail. So I wasn't a flight risk, and I really never did any major time.
So you
I
don't
wasn't,
feel like you owe the family an apology?
no, the son.
Okay.
Now he had a son. Now I apologize to the son. But as far as the sister and the wife and all that stuff, no. They were angry, so they didn't want to say nothing to me anyway.
Did you
I
say
didn't say
anything in the
anything to
courtroom?
them.
Did you know that the family was in the courtroom?
Yeah, but you can't talk to them. And they left before. And they left. As soon as the judge said, come back tomorrow, they were out of here.
Okay. Did you have a jury to convict you, or you had just a,
No, I had a jury. I took it to trial with the jury. And so those 12 people found me not guilty. And one of the jurors, after everything was gone, the note and everything, but she gave it to my lawyer. She wrote a nice note, you know. And even when I was in jail, there was this one young lady, she was like, this too shall pass. And I mean, I just had all this, you know, yeah,
so
she
you
just
had
kept,
some positive
yeah,
influence
yeah,
going
in
through
jail,
this.
yeah. So it's, she just came out the blue, and then I've never seen her again. She just so happened to be in the same area where I was. But then after that, I didn't see her no more.
Wow.
So yeah, so she was supposed to see me that day to tell me that. And because with that one positive, I have 1,000
Right.
negatives.
Right.
But yeah, that was.
From that, what do you feel you learned from that?
During that time, I had anger issues.
Oh.
Yeah, so they got me to calm down and slow down, because I'm still impatient, but I was very impatient then. And so it got me to calm down, but it kind of got me to slow down a little bit too, you know. And I have to go to therapy now. No, I didn't do that by myself.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. So between God and my therapist, I was able to make it. But it took some time for me to have like a sleep night, you know.
You ever think about that though?
It comes back from time to time. The whole vivid view of it, it all comes back sometimes. So that's why I say, for me to actually tell you exactly what went down is a bit much. Because I'm going through it, and I don't want nobody else to, you know.
Okay. You okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yes, I am. I mean, but if by request, I would tell the whole story. By request.
Okay. I'm sorry with that. Lastly, this is something that's really important to Sonya. This is a subject that a lot of people can relate to, and that is losing a child. And I've never experienced that, but because people are in our lives and we're close to people, that affects us too. So though they may be the parent who lost the child, us who are close to them, it feels like it broke our hearts as well. So this last tragedy we're gonna talk about is Sonya's son and what happened, and was there justice, and how she's really living through losing her son, because it's really fresh. So let's start with who is this person to you? Give me some adjectives. And how do you feel about not having your son anymore? And tell me, did you ever find justice of what happened? So give me some adjectives of who, what's your son's name first?
His name is DeAndre Marquise Joseph French Sprague.
Now, give me some adjectives that describes Mr. DeAndre.
DeAndre was he was a good baby. He was a good kid. He was a good young man. Very talented. DeAndre was an artist, not only in drawing, but DeAndre was an excellent songwriter, rapper. He played the drums. He was doing the guitar too as well, I believe. And he was just he like his mom. He was a good-hearted person, just somebody who always wanted to have fun. And me and him together, we was crazy. Funny, stupid, and goofy. And so, when I lost him, that overpowered the broken neck, the vehicular manslaughter. It overpowered all of that. And that is, you don't get over it.
That's true.
And you just go through it. You don't go through and come out. No. You go through it, and you go through it for a very long time. And it hasn't been that long for me. It's only been 3 years. Like this year made 3 years. Mm-hmm. And so,
so tell us how you found out.
I got a phone call from one of his friends that he knew. Her name is Jazz, and wow. I mean, let me stop for 1 second. To be somebody who has to call a woman about her child and to tell that woman that her child is no longer here, that's beyond me. That's something I wouldn't be able to do. Right. I couldn't go to a mother and tell her her child's not here anymore. So I commend her on that, and she stuck with me that whole day, just with the phone call. She's like, let me make sure I'm gonna call you back, but it's just something I heard. And then she called me right back, and she was like, yes, that's, and she called me back with the address to which, I mean, she was giving me all this information, but the police, I don't get that. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, excuse me, so, as far as what happened, I don't know. I can only go by speculations, and there were 4 of them, but only my son died. So here's the thing. It doesn't matter how you lose your baby. It's just the fact that you lost him. So it doesn't matter how. So I don't spend my time explaining how and what happened. Right. I would never get the truth. So see, that's the thing. As a mother, when something happens to your child, the only thing that mother wants is the truth.
Correct. That's correct.
And so the anger comes in because you this is your best friend and blah blah blah, but you're not telling me the truth. And so it took me a minute to come up out of that because I was extremely angry.
Oh, of course.
And when I'm angry, I don't even know how to say it. Yes, when I tell you I'm coming to get you, I'm coming to get you. But it took me a long time to come out of that. And I'm still not out of it all the way. So it's not a good thing to be in my face.
Have you found the killer? Do you know the killer?
No, it's not so much of him being killed. It was just the fact that it was 4 of them and he was the only one. So they must have been getting high or something or whatever was going on. So it was that kind of, but I would never get the truth. And so that's the most hurting thing for a mother to go through. And even when